let's go something different. Random it up a bit, eh? What I'm going to do is a little game, roguelike deck builder that I like to play. It's called Night of the Full Moon, based very loosely off Red Riding Hood. But yeah, very loosely. So we play as Red Riding Hood, and our grandma has gone missing in the dark forest, and we have to go rescue her. Sorry, let me just change the details. And it didn't change. Oh well. Okay. So, this is Night of the Full Moon. Now, the base game is free, but there's some paid DLC for it. Now, in the base game, you get access to 1, 2, 3, 4 classes. And then there's DLC for the rest. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then there's also a DLC for a completely new game mode called the Red Hood Diaries. There's DLC for a game mode which is a puzzle mode. Yeah, you can also, as you go through, you sort of start watching to level up abilities that's going to affect your game. So the more you play, the more abilities you're going to get. But what I'm so I'm going to go back to Full Moon. So now, as you can see, I'm a long way through this game. Which I'm two different modes to beat. None, I've got 1. Ranger I've finished. Knight I've finished. So instead of jumping right in at the very end where I'm up to in this game, I'm going to show you what it's like when you're first starting. So I'm just going to go back for a second. I'm going to reset all those abilities so I don't get the advantage of any of them. You can see what it's like when you're first starting out. So we're going to the Full Moon Adventure, and supposedly the easiest class is the Knight. So he's got a difficulty of 1. The Ranger, difficulty of 2. The Nun and the Witch have difficulty of 3. So we'll start with the easiest one, the Knight. Now this is just because I had an adventure going already. This is just saying, hey, we're going to overwrite that save. That's fine. It does autosave between every fight. Okay, so here's our first screen. These are our 3 options to choose. This is our gold. Yes, it's gold. This is where we're in chapter 1, which is called Village, and there's 20 pages around. Each one of these is a page. And when you get down to the end, when you've got very few pages left, there will be a boss. We can also earn courage and reputation as we go through. And whether we get courage or reputation will allow us to decide which final end boss at the end of the last chapter we fight. Down on the bottom here, our hand size. We have a maximum hand size of 2, and we draw 2 cards a turn. That will level up as we level up. This is our mana. We have 0 mana. That is because we are a warrior class. We do not cast spells. This is our actions. So there's a few different types of cards. Basic attacks are free. Spells cost mana. Equipment cards are free, and they stay and they're permanent. And action cards cost action points. Again, we can level this up as we go through. This is our health. This is our experience bar. This button here shows us what's currently in our deck. So I have an equipment, some basic attacks, An attack card is not basic, and that's an action card. Single one there means it's going to cost me 1 action point to play it. And blessings are any passive abilities that I've gained throughout my play, which obviously just started. I've got none. And the last thing here is we have our class ability. This is different for every different class you take. The nice one is select one card from your deck to upgrade, and it has a cooldown of 5 combat. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to upgrade one of my basic attack cards. I'm going to upgrade this one. So we go from deal 3 damage to deal 5 damage. And that's the highest we're going to get at basic attacks. You see, it's the number of stars is its level. You see we've got 1 star, 2 stars, and then we upgrade this, we'll have 3 stars. Not all cards have 3 stars. All the ones I do at the moment do, but there are some 2-star cards. Now, this is an enemy. And Fairy Blessing is going to can possibly give us one of these blessings. So let's see what it's going to be random. There's lots of different blessings on offer, and it will randomly choose 3, and I have to choose one of those. So here we go. Okay, so Shipborne Artillery. When you equip a card, deal 6 fire damage. That's ridiculously good. Deal 1 fire damage for each card the enemy uses. That's pretty good too. And your equipment deal +1 damage. So if you looked at in my deck, my equipment is a Dirk. Each time you play 2 attack cards, deal 1 damage. So if I chose that 3rd blessing, that would become 2 damage. But what I'm going to take is the Shipborne Artillery. This is basically going to guarantee me wins against the level 1 mobs, because they'll only have 4 to 6 hit points. And the first thing I do, and the first thing I'll do is, if we draw this course, is play my weapon. And as soon as I play my weapon, bam, 6 damage. So now all these characters have their own full backstories. And there's a lot of detail gone into the backstories of these characters, and I really like the voice acting on it. We've got another one type here, an Amnesia Tavern. Now, the Amnesia Tavern allows us to remove cards from our deck. If our deck's getting too bloated, we can go in there and we can delete a card out of it. So here we've just started. It's not really bloated at all. So let's start, and let's go take on the Patroller. He's walking back and forth. There's no way around him. Okay, now here's the combat screen. So there's my enemy. There's his health. You can see 6 health. His mana 1, the blue bar, 2 action points, and he is level 1 Patroller. Down here we have 2 closed windows. As I level up, I'll unlock new abilities, and they will appear there. Here is my passive blessing that I got from the Fairy, the Shipborne Artillery. This is how many cards are in my deck. Now, every turn. So I'll play these cards. They'll get discarded. Then at the end of my turn, they'll go back to my deck and it'll get reshuffled. So your deck starts fresh every single turn. And that's just my character portrait there. And of course an end turn button. My action points, my mana, my health. Unfortunately, I didn't draw the equipment card to finish him off straight away, so we're just going to have to attack him with the cards we do have. So, piercing attack is 1 piercing damage. Now, you can gain armor. Armor blocks damage. Obviously, it's armor. However, piercing damage bypasses armor. So that's why it specifies piercing damage. So we're going to play that on him. Just click and drag. And up here, it shows us all the previous cards played. Quite handy. As deal 2 damage, health is below 30%, deal 20 instead. So obviously 5 is not 30% of 6, so we're just going to do 2 damage and end our turn. And he attacks us for 3 piercing damage. And here's the Dirk. We'll play that. Shipborne Artillery goes off. We win the fight. Alright. No, bandages. Medical supply for healing, dealing with injuries. Restores 3 health. And it has 2 uses. So, I click it. I gain 3 health back. Nice. Alright. So let's go ahead and fight the hypnotist. You can just about make out a strange man holding a pocket watch. Okay, so again, unfortunately, we didn't pull out our weapon straight up, so we'll attack him, and end our turn. Okay, he just played an action card that made me lose my actions. But considering I have only one action card in my deck, I'm not that concerned. Especially now, I can just go die. Aha, here we go. This is the other interesting thing about this game. You get to interact with all these characters. Well, not all of them. Every single character you encounter has a unique interaction, but you don't get to interact with all of them. It will randomly select which ones you do interact with. So he's saying to me, who can be sure that what we're experiencing now is not a dream? And it's going to give me 3 options. Now, you can see this little symbol here. That's because I've chosen this option before. So it remembers what you've chosen before, and so it tells you what you got from it last time. So this little crown is reputation. So if I select who's a dreamer, I'm going to gain reputation. And that's how you get reputation or courage, is by making different selections on these responses. So who's a dreamer is going to give me reputation. So let's try one of those. We've got, how do you wake up? And ignore him. I don't ignore him. I don't want to get hypnotized. You are very rude, but you stay vigilant. And I gain 2 courage for it. Nice. I see, now I got some experience from him. The amount of experience you get is their level. So I get 1 experience from him. I already had 1. It costs 2 to level up, so now I'm level 2. And as you see here, and each fight you gain some gold too. The higher the enemy level you beat, the more gold you're going to get, the more experience you're going to get. And then every time you level up, you're going to get the opportunity to choose a reward. I can have a passive bonus to health, or I can take this card to add to my deck, Counter Attack. Triggers when the enemy plays an attack card, counter it, deal 2 damage, draw 1 card. That is pretty big, not going to lie. But I'm kind of tempted to go for health, because 20 health is not a lot. Yes, so this counter attack is a power card, but me personally, I want some more health. Alright, and when you level up, you heal up as well, which is always great. Alright, now, next page type, Shy Chest. This is a chest. It holds a card, which we can add to our deck. Best chest of those are unopened, because it's shy. Get it? Soul Strike. Deal 3 damage. If this card kills the enemy, permanently gain 2 health. That's pretty good. We'll take that. Alright, now next intersection. Now what this page does is it just removes all 3 pages, and it gets discarded like all the other pages we use. But those 2 pages get shuffled back in, and we get 3 new random pages, which could be either of these, because they do get shuffled back in with everything else. Okay, so the amnesia came back up. We've got a level 2 opponent, and we have the Gromolkin Shop. The Gromolkin Shop is where we go to spend our gold to buy cards. So these are our options. We can't really afford much yet because we're still fairly poor. So I'm going to ignore it for now and go make some more gold by killing some more enemies. And we've got the Village Guard. He's very alert. Okay, so we've got just got 2 basic attacks, so we might as well just use both of them and end our turn. Okay, so now that action card he's just played, gain armor times 4. That's what this little symbol is here. He has 4 armor, which basically means that I have to deal him 4 damage to get rid of that before it'll start dealing more damage. And counter the next card the enemy would play. So when I play this card, countered, gone, does nothing. So yeah, that was a really ineffective turn for me, thanks to that 1 card. He's just basically attacked me. And yeah, so now we can use our basic attack. Knocks out his armor. The other thing you do, if I was to end turn now, this stays in my hand, and I will draw 2 new cards next turn. As so, no? He attacks me. It hit twice because it procced his Dirk. See, and now I draw my normal 2 cards, and I still have this in my hand. So now I can do this, and now I can do this, which will kill him, and I'll gain myself 2 health. And you see, I get 2 experience because he was level 2. Alright, now that we have 27, the most expensive card in the wrong shot was 25. Now we have 27, we can afford to buy whatever we want. So let's have a look. Braveheart's an action card, draw a card, get a random attack card. Draw card is huge. Anything that lets you draw cards is good. Exiled. Exiled means that I play it, and then it gets removed from my deck, and I don't get to play it again for the rest of that fight. It does go back in for the next fight, but so it's a one-use thing, once per fight. Deal 5 damage, get a level 3 attack, which does 5 damage, so that's pretty good too. And Divine Strike. Deal 4 damage, restore the same amount of health, which, as we're a knight, a martial class, we don't have access to a lot of healing, so that's going to be, I think, in my mind, going to be one of the most handiest. I do like both of these, but the ability to keep myself propped up is going to be very handy. So I'm going to buy that one. Now, I can close this, and it will go away forever. Or I can just leave it sitting there and come back to it another time. So I'm going to leave it sitting there, and I'll go fight the crazy apothecary. The notorious apothecary is trying to get you into his lab. Ooh. Don't experiment on me. And then we got a Divine Strike, which is good because we're starting on low health, because your damage persists across fights until you heal or level up. So, first thing, the other thing is, he started with an ability, Waver. Deal damage to the enemy at random. That's going to go off in his turn. So it's kind of like my shipborne artillery. I start with that. And you see, we healed 4 points of damage. So that randomly dealt me 2 damage. Now, he's played this card, Deadly Virus. Exiled. Infects the enemy with a deadly virus that kills them after 4 turns. So, I now have a timer. In 4 turns, I die. Outright, that's it. No coming back, no saves, no healing, nothing, no armor, just die. Not all enemies are going to have this sort of. Every enemy has their own unique fighting style, and this is his. Is stay alive long enough so you die from the poison. So we just have to hope we can kill him quick enough that we don't die. All we need now is 4 points of damage, and there we go. That there kills him off. Why do I suspect that that's not actually juice? Wonder why. Now, you see, I've done both these options before. Now, it is a good idea to try and get the same thing, courage or reputation, or try and get them both at the same level. So you got to sort of choose which way you want to go. I'm actually going to refuse and get myself some reputation, because I've got none at the moment. Yes, I don't believe you. So actually lost courage while I gained reputation in that one. So that can happen. And we level up because we gain 2 experience. Alright, now, remember down here we're going to unlock some, down at the bottom. Oh, my face is blocking that. You can't actually see it. Hold on one second. Let's move my my face out of the way. Pull me up. about there. Yep, there you can. I'll go down a little. There we go. Now you can see it. Save. There we go. Okay, so you can see these two little windows down here, the ones I was talking about. This skill is one of the ones I was talking about that you unlock as you level up this unlock skill combo here. See these Cybernetics card used, cooldown of 2 combats. And now I have 2 rewards. I can select a card to remove the deck, or I can wear equipment into the combat. That means that if I have basically any equipment that is in an equipment slot starts in play. So when the fight starts, that equipment gets played automatically before anything else, and does trigger the shipborne artillery. So I'm going to take that. So now when we look at our deck, you can see it says equipped up here. So that means it's going to start in play. Now, we don't have very much gold, so there's no point going back to the shop yet. So, let's fight the sleepy bat. Is it sleeping? Like, really sleeping? Considering bats are nocturnal and we're out at night because, you know, there's a moon in the sky, I wouldn't be surprised if it was awake. Oh, look, it is awake. What a shock. So, you see, my Dirk equipped automatically, and my shipborne artillery dealt at 6 damage. Now this ability, so Cybernetics card used cooldown 2 combats. So if I activate that and then play my basic attack, I get another basic attack. And as Ashley said, that means it's a temporary card. Temporary cards, once played, disappear. They do not get shuffled into your discard pile or into your deck. But we can now use that and kill him off. And it had a cooldown of 2 combats, so this here is going to be grayed out until I do 2 more fights. And we've just the cooldown on our baptism just expired, so let's go ahead and play that. And let's get another basic attack up to max level. And Cook, you almost ran into him. Ooh. You can make me dinner, I guess. I kind of don't want a pig's head for dinner, but... Alright, so I'm going to take him with my basic attack. Now, the Dirk. So, every time you turn, play 2 attack cards. So that's the red cards. I just played 1. So now if I play this one, it's going to do the 3 damage to him. And it will also trigger the Dirk, which will do another damage. As seen. And end turn. And we can play this one and kill him. Now, I know it looks like I'm breezing through these, and part of that is true because I do know the game very well by this point. But it gets a lot harder the further on the game you go. Out of the way, this is high quality pork for the church. Ooh, priests need high quality pork apparently. High quality pork for the church and make way. I don't have the thing for make way, so let's choose make way. You watch the cook walk quickly towards the church and soon he disappears. I lost courage. Oh. Now, it's up here you can see how much you've got. So I've currently got 1 reputation and 0 courage. Yes, I gained 2 courage early, but I've lost 2 courage since then. And it says there, next reward 4. So when I get to 4 reputation or 4 courage, I'll get a reward. We've got another chest. Let's open the chest. Okay, so another action card. Exiled. So 1 use. Gain 6 armor. That's 6 armor is good at this level. And get a random equipment card. So we don't know what the random equipment card is, but any equipment card for us is going to be good because any equipment card, in addition to whatever its abilities are, also deals 6 damage when we play it, thanks to the shipborne artillery. So we're going to take that. Now I've got 26 gold, so I can afford something from the shop again. So you can either go the Braveheart or the Boxing. Let's get boxing. We'll close that up. And let's go, actually, we'll show you what the Amnesia Tavern does before we go fight the spider. So, these are all the cards in my deck. And I can pick one to make it disappear. Now, I've been upgrading my basic attack cards again to full. You notice the 5 damage ones are great, the 1 damage ones, not so much. I can upgrade these to 3 and then to 5. But they're also taking up space in the deck as well. The more cards in your deck, the less likely you are to pull the cards you want. So I will sometimes make a point to thin out the basic attack, especially with the other classes, the non-martial classes. And also, when I'm seeing how I'm grabbing these non-basic attack cards, it means I'd rather be drawing these ones than these. So I'm going to get rid of this one. So select the card to exile, current price, free. Yay, it's free. Let's exile that one. Now we can do it again, but now it has a cost. I don't want to pay for it. Also, I can't. I've got a gold. And now what I can do is if I click this X, it discards that page. And we've got a smithy. Now, smithy is like the Amnesia Tavern, but what it does, instead of disappearing cards, is upgrade cards. So we can upgrade our Soul Strike, for example. Goes from 3 damage to 5 damage. As I said before, 2 stars. So it's only upgraded once. But that's still good. We'll take that. And again, we can do it again, but it's going to cost. We can't afford it. So again, we'll click the X, make it go away. We could go to the next intersection, but I think I'll go fight the spider first. Alright, so then we drew our new action card. So, gain some armor. We got a Martyr's Sword as our random equipment. When you take damage on your turn, double the next damage you deal. Interesting. So we'll equip that. Deal another 6 damage to him. In fact, that's going to put him in kill range of the Divine Strike. So, that was a pretty quick one. Okay, now we've got 2 choices again. I can get the maximum health. We're up to 40 now. It's a lot better than the 20 we were on. But still, more health is always good, obviously. And the Poison Dagger. Each time you play 2 attack cards, the enemy suffered poison into 1. What Poison does is it's a buff that goes onto their side of the board. And at the start of their turn, they take damage equal to the number of poison counters they've got. And then they lose a poison counter. So if they have 10 poison counters, they take 10 damage. And then it goes down to 9. Next turn, they take 9 damage. And it goes down to 8. So this one's just going to give them 1. But every time you play 2 attack cards, so it's like the Dirk. Every time you play 2 red cards, this is going to trigger. And that's very nice. So we're going to take that. Now, we've only got 1 equipment slot. So that's what the Dirk is equipped, the Poison Dagger is not. We can unequip the Dirk and equip the Poison Dagger if we wish so. We've got the bandages we got rid of before, and we've got the Grammatical Shop. So, I'm full health. I can't afford anything from the shop, so let's hit the next intersection. Oh, and there's the boss. But before we go fight the boss, let's have a look at what's in the chest. Deal 6 damage, +1 for every 5 health you've lost. This push not bad. Ideally, you don't want to be losing health, but you're going to. You know. Although what I'll do now is, so we've got 2 options down here. Pick up, which is what I've been doing so far, and later. What later does is it just leaves it there. The reason why you can do that is if I decide I didn't want that card, I click the X, it goes away. Oh, and the bandages are back. The other thing as well, I'll just show you as well. I am full health, 46 out of 46. If I use this, it will get used and have no effect. So that can happen. Let's have a look at the shops. Why not? Okay, so we've got equipment, we've got a Storm Strike, and we've got a Sacrifice. Those are all very nice. This one has the Braveheart. We can't afford anything in any of those yet, so let's fight the boss, see how much gold we get, and then we can buy something. Okay. So let's start with the box. I'm going to do, and he's got a lot more health than the previous guys we were fighting had. And my shipment did no damage to him because he's got armor. He starts with armor thanks to this equipment. Let's start with the boxing. And then the basic attack, which will trigger our poison dagger. And then we can basic attack. And soul strike, which will trigger the poison dagger again. And then we end our turn. Alright, now, I'm unable to play my execution because he played... The enemy loses all their mana and action. So, no spells or action cards can I play this turn. I get my action back at the end of this turn, but I can't play it this turn. So, we'll just play our basic attack cards and end our turn. Alright, see, and now we've got our action back. And we've got our armor and random equipment card. So let's play that. Oh, we've got a second Dirk. Our first Dirk is still in our deck. Since we've got the asterisk next on it, it's a temporary Dirk. The other Dirk is still in our deck. So we'll play that. And now when I go basic attack and piercing attack, both the poison dagger and the Dirk will proc. And then we can end turn. And there's our normal Dirk. So we'll play that. Now, when I play 2 red cards, both Dirks will proc. So they will deal 2 damage total. And give them a poison. You can see basic attack, divine strike, and all of them procced. Now this has gone red because it means the second part of it is going to apply. His health is below 30%, so it will deal 20 damage to him, which is going to be enough to kill him. I don't think a boss will always level you up. Always. Doesn't matter where you are on your experience bar, you will always get a level for beating a boss. Alright. Now, so we can choose gold. Oh, this is an instant. We've got our second skill ability on. That's going to on this window here. Gain R equal to the equivalent to the health you've lost. That's pretty handy, actually. But each character draws 3 cards. Each card's all non-attack cards. Again, draw card is always good. Get a temporary random attack card at the start of your turn. That's also very good. Or we can get some gold. Now, there were some things in the shops I wanted to buy, so I'm going to take the gold. So if we enter this shop, we have 50. So we can get one of these. So exiled, action +1, take 1 piercing damage, draw 1 card. So it's going to deal me a damage, but I get an extra action this turn, and I draw a card. Storm Strike, deals 6 lightning damage. You deal 1 additional damage this turn. So it's going to deal 6 damage straight up, and then every time I play an attack card, it's going to add 1 to that attack card's damage. Which is very, very good. And Clockwork, another equipment. At the end of your turn, deal 3 damage, gain armor 3. And I think I'm going to be taking that one just because, A, it's going to trigger the shipborne artillery, and B, it's dealing damage and gaining the armor every single turn. So I'm going to buy that. I can't afford anything else, so I'll make it go away. Well, there's another shop. I would have liked to have got this card, but we can't afford it. So go away. And same as the shop, we can't afford that. So all we've got left, 1 page remaining, last page. This is the last page of the trap chapter. Do you want to start a new chapter? So if we turn the page, we complete chapter 1 village, and we'll move into chapter 2, which is the Dark Forest. And we start all over again. Now, you'll notice down here my max hand size of my card draws per turn has gone up. That will, as I said before, that will go up every time you level. I think that was a pretty comprehensive